Your number 2?
I've gone for someone who I know you'll appreciate, and I didn't really appreciate properly till I got the chance to play with him for half a season when he come on loan.
Hold on, where did...
Liverpool.
Oh, my goodness, I know you're going to say it.
Nicholas Anelka. I know he went off to Spain early, and maybe people remember who were old enough to that brief time at Arsenal. But this guy, super chilled, by the way. Not a problem.
Nice guy?
Yeah. People, he came with this reputation of being difficult. No.
Yeah.
Trained well, never moaned if he was on the bench playing, because we had loads of players at the time. A great lad. But his footwork, and the thing I've never seen anybody do that he did, was go from 0 to 60 so quick.
Yeah, that acceleration.
He'd stop people and then go. And he had, I mean, he wasn't, not a bad finisher, but not like you.
No.
Not like Mo or anything like that, you know. Just got in great positions so often he was going to score because of his pace, but people forget his skill. But the one thing I remember about Nico was, I've never seen it before. It didn't matter how much rain there was, how soft or slippy the pitch was.
Moulds.
I
knew he was going to say that.
And I never saw him slip over.
Never?
I don't know how I did it.
Robbie Keane was like that.
I don't know how I did it. And I used to say to him, you're not only brilliant, like you never slip over. How do you wear rubbers today? Because Anfield was beautiful on top, lush and wet, but firm underneath.
Yeah.
You think, I've got to wear stud in case. Never slip.
Do you think when you think about Anelka, because we had Petit on the show on Drive, and he spoke about Anelka, and he said when Anelka was younger, obviously him and Thierry, Anelka was better. And I remember Gerard Houllier telling me Anelka was better as a kid. So do you think that he is potentially underrated when it comes to Premier League strikers? Because we always go, when you go Premier League strikers, you go, the greatest Thierry, Shearer, Kane. He never gets brought up. Do you think it's just simply because of his numbers?
Yeah, well, I think at the time here, because he left Arsenal quite early, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he was away for quite a long time and came back and then had a spell with us, then Chelsea and whatever. Yeah. So most of the great strikers you talk about have this period where you see them season in, season out, season in, season out.
Yeah.
Because his was a bit stop-start, maybe that's why. But I think if he'd have stayed, if he'd have stayed at Arsenal, I understand why he left, but I had to get him in.
So his natural talent, do you think he's one of the most, I know you've played with some great players, do you think he's one of the most naturally gifted players, like the most talented? No, I'm not talking about the best where they're
No, he was one of the most gifted, yeah. It was all easy for him. Wow. I mean, not technically brilliant, but gifted in terms of taking the ball, beating people, just to finishing a little bit, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know, snatched at things a little bit and tried to hammer things rather than sometimes. Yeah. But in terms of graceful, going past people, and players were terrified of him.
Yeah.
He had a game at Anfield once. I know we've got to move on, but he had a game at Anfield once against Newcastle. He absolutely ran the game and tore them apart. I can't remember who it was against, but they wouldn't want to watch it back. When other players are coming off the pitch, we have some good players.
Yeah.
And it was the first time some of the lads were coming off the pitch, like Mo and people like that, and Stevie going, oh my God. And then Julio, for some reason, I don't know why, he didn't sign him permanently and signed Diouf instead. El Hadj Diouf.
That was off the back of 2002 World Cup there, wasn't it?
I think if we'd have signed Anelka that summer, we could have won the league the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Mo, Anelka, who else did you have? Emil?
Yeah, we had Emil. I think Robbie was still there.
I mean, that's not a bad four, by the way.
I think Lippmann had just left.
Yeah.
So I think that's why Anelka could come in, yeah.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.